Hello, my 80s children. No, I am actually dressed. I know, I have to talk about it right away. I'm dressed as an 80s version of Energy Queen because, well, that's actually why I decided to come on live right now with you, is I wanted to talk about how your feminine energy helps you birth things into the world. And the reason why I'm dressed like 80s right now is because I'm actually doing a weekly comedy show here in New York that I started a few weeks ago. And tonight it's an 80s theme, so it's the Throwback Thursday 80s edition. Okay, now you know why I look like this. By the way, maybe I should look like this all the time. I kind of love it. Anyway, Madonna vibes, right? So what I wanted to tell you is, like, basically I'm learning so much by doing things differently with comedy, and this can apply to any goal that you're working on right now, and it can also apply to your business. It can apply to comedy, and I'm speaking to women in specific. I know that there are a lot of people who don't identify as women who want to listen to me, and if you also get something out of this, that's wonderful. But I speak to women primarily because I am a woman and that's my experience, so that's my expertise. Just take it or leave it for this video, but this is for you if you identify as a woman particularly. So basically, the thing is that when we as women are trying to reach goals, the world is so saturated with advice that's meant for men. And that's why I don't mind doing a video just for women, because most of the advice that we get our whole lives is honestly just for men, and we're given it too. And so I discovered this through my business, through comedy, through moving to New York, having things be really difficult and not knowing why things were so hard. And finally I broke through that cycle and started to really understand that most of what I had been taught to do works for a man does not work for a woman, period, energetically, because we are built differently energetically. Men are built, we all as individuals have masculine and feminine energy. Okay, so we all have those energies. Even if you're non-binary, we have those energies. But if you're a man, the way the masculine and the feminine balance in you, because they need to balance for you to be your most productive, for you to be at your best, is putting your masculine first. So I like to say you put your masculine first, which means you take a lot of action, you're really organized, you have a very strict schedule, you hustle, you push, you work, the hard work. Do you hear what I'm saying when I say that's what we're saturated with? That works for a man. If you put that first, your feminine, it basically conjures your feminine to rise up and feel safe in that structure. So therefore you have your masculine, which is all the hard work, and you have your feminine, which is your ability to receive and your ability to relax and enjoy your life and have relationships and joy and meaning, purpose, all those things. So you see how, okay, so there is a tip here for men, but those work together, right? That's how those work together. If you're non-binary, what I like to say is a really simple rule that in fact could help anybody, which is work when work feels restful. So that's the masculine. Work when work feels restful to you, and then rest when rest feels productive. Okay, so that's your rule if you're non-binary. The rest part is the feminine, so that's how they balance. Okay, now if you're a woman, what you need to put first is your feminine. And this is very confusing to a lot of women because this is one of the things my one-on-one coaching is based on, helping women like truly overcome, because it's so saturated to us that we need to put our masculine first. We need to be organized, we need to work hard, we need to put that all first. And it's literally the opposite of how your energy works, literally. So here's your feminine. You put your feminine first, and a lot of women are really afraid to do that. Is this you? You're afraid to put your feminine first because you think, okay, I'm not going to be organized, I'm not going to get anything done, I'm not going to make any money, I'm not going to, get any results. Like, you start freaking out. And so that's why most women are scared to do this, and why, I do the work I do in supporting you partly. I mean, that's partly why I work with women. There's a lot of reasons. Anyway, but you put that first, okay? What happens with your energy is you will always bridge with your masculine. So the illusion that a lot of women need to overcome and hear about is that your energy, your feminine energy, your presence, building your presence, your spirit, building your feminine energy is about becoming more in touch with your spirit, getting more present in your life, enjoying your life. That's why like stuff like this is actually feminine, you know, makeup, hair, glitter, you know, whatever. The 80s was so feminine, you know, is basically because all those things are things that are about joy and they're about presence. You can only enjoy all of this in the present, right? So that is the feminine. And when you build those things in your life, when you cultivate the presence and you meditate and you pray and you get connected to your spirit and, you know, all the things that we consider spiritual and feminine and crystals and blah, 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 you go down that road, all those things which are not about work and not about doing and action. Okay, if you put those first, what always, always, always happens is you will always bridge with your masculine. You will feel like working, you will feel motivated, you will get ideas, you will have so much energy, and you will be like unstoppable, basically. Okay, that's pretty good. And that's what you want. But the fear that you have to get over is that putting this first is the way that you get your masculine to show up. And so I'm doing this comedy show. I'm going to bring it back to how I've transformed, you know, the things I've been able to create and do in the world and really up my success in so many ways. Because what I was doing, for example, with comedy that did not work was putting my masculine first, right? Because a lot of people in comedy are men. And so you're surrounded by men all the time. You're in that culture, you start thinking, okay, well, if they're going to every mic every day, I need to be going to every mic every day. And so I used to do that. My first couple of years in New York, I would be going to an open mic every day. If I didn't go to one, I would freak out. Like, oh, I can't do that. Like, I'm going to fall behind. And so I did that. And I really burned myself out, you know, because I was thinking that I had to be like all the guys to be successful like them. Okay. And what has worked better and faster is putting my feminine first, truly. Like, not forcing myself to do things I don't feel like doing, getting more in touch with my spirit, honestly spending days and weeks and months just, you know, being really in touch with myself and sleeping and not doing anything if I don't feel like it. And that sounds scary for a lot of women to hear. Like, but the truth is, I didn't do a lot of comedy even in 2023. You know, I took months off. I took 3 months at a time off because it was like, I didn't feel like I really connected with what I was supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, I had to take time to get in touch with my soul. Why am I doing comedy? Why is my soul here on planet Earth doing comedy? You know, what is my comedy supposed to be about? I'm still kind of figuring that out, but it's like I had to have that inner connection, you know, before I even knew where in the world or the city I'm in New York, like, what am I doing? You know, why am I doing it? Where do I vibe with performing? So it's like I had to stop going everywhere and I started being more selective, you know, what is actually in service to my goal? And so that's the way that your masculine and feminine are always supposed to work. The masculine is always supposed to be in support of your feminine as a woman. So instead of the opposite, your feminine being sacrificed for your masculine, I'm just going to that's what I was doing before. And that's what a lot of women get, you know, the mistake you make is you sacrifice your feminine, your spirit, your purpose. Why are you doing this? And your connection and your presence and your joy in life. You sacrifice that straight up just for the sake of being busy, because that's what you've been taught you're supposed to do, that you've been taught works, and that's not what works as a woman. Okay, if you do it the other way, you take your time to get connected to your spirit. What will happen again is you don't just stay here and you meditate for the next 9 years. No, you will get the inspiration, you will get the answers, you will get the clarity, and then you can actually have energy to go do those things. So that's what happened for me. I took the time. I didn't force myself to do things just to do them. I took the time to get connected to myself, my spirit, my purpose. Why am I doing this? And then what happened was I knew where to go. I knew what to do. I knew why I was doing it. And maybe I was only doing a couple mics a week, but you know what? They were the right mics. Maybe I was only performing a couple nights a week, but you know what? I got a lot out of those performances. I had a lot of jokes coming to me faster. I wasn't killing myself anymore, which now I see was actually making everything not productive and slowing it down. And so I swear if you want to accelerate anything you do, listen to this story. Within a couple of weeks of doing things that way, which I started to do in January this year, I remember at one point I had 5 shows in a matter of like 4 days or something. Okay, you want to be productive? Wow, I'd never even had that happen before, you know? And then cut to a couple weeks later, I'm running a weekly show and 2 open mics I'm the host of now. So it feels right now because I organized it that way on purpose. I decided the masculine, so my actions, the masculine, the physical world, the masculine, the opportunities out there for me are all going to support me, my feminine, my spirit. That's the way this works. So that's how you have to think about everything. It's all there to support you as a woman, not tire you out, not make you feel guilty, blah, 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 blah. No, it's here to make you feel like good and make you feel like things are working and make you feel like it's helping you carry out what you're supposed to do. And so that's how you want to really approach everything that you want to do if you want faster success. And so again, it might feel like, well, I'm going to slow myself down if I just focus on my feminine for a while. It's the opposite. You're going to really speed things up, because now we're only in March and like I can't even believe still that I have these opportunities in front of me. And again, like I'm taking the whole comedy world and I'm saying you have to support me. And the way that you do that is I'm going to say what I want to do and how I want to do it. And I'm going to do things that I love and do things that are fun. I'm going to do them my way. And so everything is supportive of me. Everything is supportive of what makes me feel happy and good. And that works for me in my schedule. It makes me feel like I have the energy for that. So I have 2 mics and 1 show a week. And I'm the host of all of them. And so for me, that really works because I'm doing comedy 3 times a week. I know that every week. And it's not too much and it feels like the right thing. And when it's time for that to shift, it will. But it's always going to be because it's supporting me. See what I mean? I'm not sacrificing myself anymore. So I want you to think about this with all of your goals as a woman. Okay, how can I make it support me? How can my work support me? How can my actions support me? And if they're taking away from me and draining me, I need to stop because it's not going to help. And if I really want to accelerate and have more success that feels good, by the way, you want to feel good in life, right? Then the masculine needs to support the feminine. So I hope this helped you. It's really fun to live this way, by the way, because you feel so much more balanced. Things make so much more sense. And I actually wrote an ebook that is coming out soon called Energetic Eyes, that you can get a copy of if you're interested. And that's going to show you a deeper look at these concepts, but visually, because I have the gift of seeing energy visually, and that's how I learn all these concepts. So this is why you can't Google these things, and this is why you can't really find these things on the internet, or a lot of people aren't saying them this way, because the way I learn them is through watching the energy world. And it truly has so much to teach us. And reading this book will help you have a better grasp on how to create a more positive reality, because these processes are working around us all the time for everyone. And once you understand them, their laws, just like gravity, you can start to use them to your advantage. And this is one example of that. So I hope that this resonated with you. If you're interested in the ebook, you can check out the description. And I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Bye. Rock on. What did they say in the 80s? Tubular.